Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome to the Sunday podcast. Thank you all for joining us today. And a quick happy Mother's Day to any moms that might be listening, or to each one of your moms. I'm sure you all have moms. So hopefully you took some time to reach out to them or some other mother that you might know and wish them a happy Mother's Day. But as this Mother's Day is winding down, we are looking to get carrying off with the podcast. And real quick, before I do get into the podcast, though, I do want to give a quick shout out to Michael, aka Duran Truking, for becoming a Master Chief supporter on my Patreon. And a shout out to all of my channel supporters for helping me out with the channel. And thank you all very much. But looks like we're getting quite a few viewers in here, so I will go ahead and go over what the topics are for today's podcast. So for today's podcast, we are looking to discuss War Robots Remastered. I'm sure most of you guys have already seen the videos on that. The brand new robot that is on test server this weekend called Scorpion. The latest Operation Iron Phoenix Part 1. And some new module on, or Titan module specifically on the test server. But that is the key topics we wanted to go over with you all today. So hopefully you guys are ready to share your opinions or ask your questions, and we will do as much as we can to get through those with you guys. But anyway, I do have Eddie here with me and a special guest. Some of you may or may not know him. He is xCHIEFx. He also has a YouTube channel. He's an up-and-coming YouTuber, and he is a friend of Eddie's. So thought we would go ahead and kind of get back to our roots here on the podcast and bring a smaller up-and-coming YouTuber on to share their opinions and get in on the discussion with us. I do have links to xCHIEFx's channel in the video description here and in the pinned comments, so make sure you guys stop over and show a little bit of love his way. But anyway, let me go ahead and get them into the conversation with us, and we'll get things going for you guys. Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's going on, Chief?
Hey, how are you?
Turn my music down just a little bit before somebody starts commenting. But so how you guys doing?
Doing real good. Had a very busy Mother's Day over here on my side of the pond. It was just active all over. People coming over, went over to moms, and just kind of doing that whole thing.
Okay. It is Mother's Day, so hopefully, like I was telling them in the chat, hopefully they all wished whatever Mother's Day might know, happy Mother's Day.
Right.
So how you doing, xCHIEFx?
Hi, fine, bro. Thank you very much for inviting me here.
Hey, no problem.
I really like your channel, and I follow your channel.
Right on. Much appreciated. But, a long time ago when I first started doing these, we used to try and get some of the smaller YouTubers or the up-and-coming YouTubers on the channel and give them a little bit of exposure. Now that I'm grown a little more than I was back in the day, I don't know, maybe I'll look at trying to do that a little more regularly. But I did put a link to your channel in the video description and the pinned comment here. So hopefully some folks will drop over and show your channel a little bit of love. I know you live stream, almost every day? And you make video content?
Thank you, bro.
So it's definitely some good stuff going on over there. And I believe you're going to start gearing up here for some kind of a giveaway for once you reach 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So
Yes. I announced that giveaway.
Right on. Well, hopefully
Once I reach 5,000 subscribers, next day I will announce the winners.
Cool. Well, I wish you the best of luck in that, and hopefully it doesn't take you too long to reach that milestone. It looks like you are growing pretty quick, so shouldn't take you
Thank
too
you,
long.
bro.
But
It's an incredible ride, to be honest, bro.
yeah,
Really.
it's a lot of fun being on YouTube and having a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So today's topics of discussion is the War Robots Remastered, the new robot Scorpion, which unfortunately I have not had a chance to test out because this weekend's test server was for Android only, and I'm an iOS player. We've got the new Operation Iron Phoenix Part 1 that's already going full swing, and there's some Titan module stuff on test server for us to kind of talk about. And
Yeah. A lot
eas-
of new stuff.
the easiest thing, if you're new to the podcast, like you are, Zox, just keep it open, like on your phone or whatever device you normally watch YouTube on, and you can view the viewer comments in there, and we kind of try and interact with them as much as possible.
It's on my TV. It's on my TV. Your podcast, and I'm speaking using my earphones.
Cool.
And Discord on my phone.
All right. Well, like I said, I wasn't able to get on and test the new robot, but I guess we can start there. I think most people, that's probably the freshest thing on their mind, is the new robot. Anytime there's a new robot or new weapon, people are generally very interested in getting everything on that. But I haven't had a chance to watch it. I did watch your video, Zox, and several other videos of people that did post them on YouTube. But I wanted to get your thoughts on it, your initial impressions.
Regarding Scorpion robot,
Yep.
I think it will be crazy if it hits live server. To be honest, for me it's a little bit too much, bro. So many abilities into one. Dot effect, suppression. I don't know, so many things. Also, it has resistance. Okay, they decreased that resistance because they saw that people were reacting really strongly to that. Because if you have robots, for example, like having 90% resistance like Leech, and you also have teleportation ability, it's ridiculous. It's a little bit too much, really. And these 500 meters range, I don't know. For me, it's a little bit too much.
Right.
Maybe some next step in the wrong direction.
Well, let me throw a couple of the stats out there for any viewers that may not have had a chance to see what the robot is all about. But it has 2 medium and 1 light weapon slot. It's got a HP of 115,000, and that's at level 8. And it's got a speed of 54 kilometers per hour, so it's pretty quick. Its ability is called Backstab, and basically the way it works is you target an enemy robot within 500 meters of you on the map, and you place your teleportation beacon just like the Phantom does, but instead of teleporting back, well, you do teleport back to it, but as soon as you place it, whatever red enemy robot you have targeted, when you do place it, you will teleport to right behind them. And I do believe that the Backstab ability has a built-in weapon. Is that correct? Now, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the built-in weapon works. Does it automatically fire when you teleport behind somebody, or do you have to click the button?
Every second it fires.
Oh, every second.
Every second it fires one shot. Yeah, you saw that it's in the description. It says one shot per second interval.
Oh, okay. And the ability duration is 15 seconds, and the cooldown is 18 seconds. Yeah. So if you are behind them and you start, shooting them and doing your thing, as long as, you hit the ability button again, that's when you teleport back to where you came from. If you don't click it again, you're stuck where you are and you stay there. Now that ability has 500 meter range, but the built-in weapon only has 100 meter range. And that built-in weapon also has a damage over time effect, a corrosion effect, basically. So I suppose that can kind of add up. if it's going for 15 seconds, could end up being quite a bit of damage, I suppose. What are your thoughts on that one there, Islander?
Well, I wasn't able to get on the test server. I downloaded it. Every time that I try to go in, of course, it'll take me to the screen and it tells me servers in maintenance breaks for the next hour or 2 hours. When I get to it, it tells me there's an update available. Okay, when I try to go get the update, it doesn't take me there. So what I did was I went ahead and watched a lot of the YouTubers, Zoxes and Manny's and all the guys that took time to make the videos. I went and watched all of their videos. And what I gathered from that is a new bot that I'm not liking very much. I'm not a fan of the 500 meters and the teleporting or the backstab ability. Basically, if you're going to be playing in team play, you're going to have somebody sitting on your beacons pretty much the entire match. If you're not on your beacon, these guys teleport behind you, you're going to have issues on the home base. That's one thing I didn't like about it. The resistance, we can deal with that. We have resistance already in the game. The suppression that is there, we'll take care of that with an anti-control. Everything else was pretty much tolerable from what I could tell. But the backstab at 500 meters is pretty extensive. But they did, like Zog said, they did reduce the resistance from 90 to 50, so that was pretty decent. We'll be able to generate half power there on the HP. But the fact that 500 meter blink behind you it's going to be an issue. And I don't see any way that this will not make the live server, regardless of what our feedback on it. This bot is going to come. As far as the bot itself, beautiful design, 2 mediums, 1 light. I like everything else about it except for that 500 meters. That's the only thing that's kind of got me right now.
Well, we kind of ran into that whole issue when the leech was on the test server as well with the whole 500 meter, and we fought him and finally got it worked down to 350, and then when it went live it was back at 500.
Back at 500.
So
500 seems to be the key mark for our beloved developers there.
Real quick, thanks for the donation there, Yusuf Al-Hamwi. Much appreciated. But
Yusuf, thanks for the 20 bones, brother.
Yeah,
thank you, Yusuf. Yusuf is our clanmate from HC.
Yusuf is from HC Clan. Okay.
Yeah, he's there with us.
Hey, what's
also,
up,
quick
Lee?
shout out to AD and Lee. Thanks for coming by, guys. Evil, good to see all you guys here.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn with the new robot. Personally, I think it's interesting. It's kind of another take on an ability. Well, on pretty much several abilities we already have in the game. Almost, I don't know. I mean, there's parts of it that I really like because you're going to be able to really use a lot of tactics with it. But I can also see a lot of problems with it. That whole, 500 meter range, like you say, it's like, yeah, you have to kind of watch your beacons and your backside at all times. So it can really have a dramatic impact on the game, and it could be too much of an impact, I guess. But at the same time, it's also kind of a cool ability for you to be able to take care of those camping bots that, nobody really likes.
This will bring an end to the camping. No doubt. Yeah. And I would love it, for mods like free for all and stuff like that. I think it would be a great little tool. One thing we all hate is the long walk of shame with domination. When you get into a fight and you get killed and you have that long walk all the way back to the center of the map. Now you're going to be able to get back there, get into the fight pretty quick. So, I mean, it works out to be a plus because you don't have to take that long walk. Same thing with free for all. Once you get it within 500 meters, you're going to start teleporting in and getting right back into the fight. So it's going to be a good bot, I think, as far as brawling. And I'm just looking at it. My dislike for it is specifically from a beacon rush point of view. Other than that, I think the bot will probably fit into the meta pretty easily and have a lot of pluses with maybe less minuses.
Well,
yeah, but for beacon rush it will be too much.
A pain.
But on the plus side, and this could be the selling point to anybody, Yamantau center beacon would be easy with the Scorpion. You don't have to worry about those guys that get the center beacon first and win in the game, you know? So, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Yamantau, and that's usually the...
You know what will be the problem, Chief? The problem will be that in 90% people who will run it, who will become skilled in running it, they will teleport behind you and they will not even shoot it. They will go for your beacon, and you will not be aware that they are behind you and that they are taking your beacon. So any skill, any skill that you developed through years of playing will not help you with that. So in fact, this is the bot that will be end up you will be able to play it without any knowledge about this game, to be honest.
Right, well,
you just need to be sneaky and have it.
But even if they lower the range of the ability, I don't think that's going to stop that from happening, you know?
Yeah, but
you're right. It doesn't matter. Well, it does kind of matter on the range for me slightly. But at least if you were at 350 meters, you force them to come in a little bit closer before they can actually do that teleport and get behind you. And if they do teleport back, they're not that far from you that you can't chase them down. These things sit back at 500 meters with scourges or with 500-meter weapons. Atomizers and these style of weapons and pick you apart and come right. It's just, I see all kinds of headaches with it. But we're gonna have them as well, and we're gonna give headaches to the enemy team. So it's gonna be like anything else. The best defense for them would be, as far as beacon rush, would be sitting a Robana on your home beacon, and that's gonna be your beacon guard. If he teleports behind you, you go into a phase shift. There's very little that he'll be able to do. There'll be tactics to come up to counter it, and it won't take us very long to figure it out. But all in all, I mean, it is an interesting build. Looks very nice. The robot itself looks amazing. So we'll just have to wait to see. But will it come to the live server? Yeah, it's going to be there, boys. No doubt.
Let's see.
Also, can I say something? Yeah. I saw something smart idea from Lee. They should at least give you some sorts of notification that somebody is behind you. At least that, if they are about to introduce this robot. For example, if you are on your robot standing on a beacon and someone is teleported behind you, it will be pretty, how can I say, paranoid. You will have to be really paranoid to look around you all the time. But this way, if he teleports behind you, you will get notification at least that he is teleported next to you.
But doesn't that kind of take away from the ambush
it does.
prospect of it?
It does.
Yeah, it does. But when you are in the match and that blinks, you don't have so much time to react, to be honest. But this way, at least you will know that it's something happened.
See, Dean Elhard had a comment earlier. He was saying that he's expecting squads to be running bunches of Scorpions, and it'll make defending beacons impossible when 5 enemies suddenly appear behind you. And that's a good point. What do you do when there's 5 of them on the enemy team and they all pick one target and all teleport to the same guy and instantly destroy him?
You use your Robana, you phase shift like as much as you possibly can and scream for help.
But you're not going to be running a Ravana because you're going to have to run a Scorpion in order to counter it. So I don't know. That's a good point, though, and that kind of just goes back to anytime there's a meta shift, people take it too far and they go overboard with whatever the robot is until it ends up getting nerfed. But I don't know. Maybe they could. I do like Lee's idea about maybe some kind of a notification, but it would have to be more than just that little, red thing that pops up on the left-hand side of your screen that's too small for you to even see what it is. I think if they were to give a notification, even though it would kind of ruin the whole assassination and stealthiness part of the or idea behind the robot, it would have to be a very bright, maybe change the whole color of your screen type of notification just so you know.
Yeah, something like that.
Because otherwise, if it's just a little icon on the left-hand side of your screen, you're never going to see it because you got a bunch of other stuff spamming in there already. But maybe they could also limit, how many can teleport to the same target. I don't know if that's even a possibility, but
regarding coding, I think it will be really a nightmare for them.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, but those are good concerns, Dean. Maybe you can send your feedback to them on the test server as well. But usually, like Eddie said, we're gonna get this thing. It's gonna come to the live server. But who knows what form it's actually going to take. This is the first iteration of it too. I am a little disappointed it was Android only that got to test it. Not sure why iOS couldn't get in on the mix, but hopefully next weekend we'll get our opportunity for it. But I don't know what do you guys in chat think overall about the idea of the Scorpion, assuming that some things might get adjusted before it comes to the live server, obviously. But some other things on the test server that were being tested is the Titan module. I did say module, as in there is only one, and that is the speed module for Titans. Originally, they were going to try testing 2 modules. They were trying to test the
Quantum radar.
The quantum radar, passive quantum radar for Titans, which I still want to talk about, even though it wasn't on the test server. I think it's important that we still talk about it. But as far as the speed module, what are you guys' thoughts on that for the Titans?
Well, the good thing that I did notice, all right, and so I think I saw this on boxes, was you're only going to have one slot for the passive module that you can use the speed, or you're going to be able to use the quantum radar. You're only going to have one universal slot. The other 2 right now are reserved for armor and or shooting. Okay, so you got to give up one of your slots there. I'm not sure that I'd be willing to give up that 27% or whatever amount of percent of HP that we get to put it on a speed module that, from what I could tell, really didn't affect the Titan as much as I thought it would. I mean, the Titan will move probably about 10% faster, but what's that, like 10 kilometers faster? I mean, it's not going to make it. It's not going to make it a Loki or anything like that. It's not going to give it crazy speed. So I don't think I'd be willing to give up the hit points or the armor for that, or the firepower.
I think the most popular one is the attack damage module in that slot right now.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brock.
Sorry, Eddie?
Were you going to say something? I'm sorry, partner.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something that I think regarding the squad gameplay, it will be probably 1 or 2 guys running it on their arters, and they will be, Eddie, it will be significant change, bro. When you count your personal boosters, and you count your squad boosters, and then those 10 additional percents, it will be a big difference, bro. You will have one arter moving really fast towards your home beacon, and maybe 1 more or 2 going slower, a little bit slower, but enough for that one to reach, to make a confusion there, and for 1 or 2 more to come and finish the job.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've been speaking on my own, and I mean, especially I guess the best one it would be for would be the archers. There's really no need to have that extra speed on a noted or a mean, because you don't really got to move in too fast. Those are more of a support bot, and the other one is just up in the air range fighter. So the only one that I can see right now that it would be effective on would be the archer. But are you willing to give up that 27% of armor for just a little bit of extra speed. I don't know. You know, it's something that we'll test out as it comes closer, but I don't know. If I was running an Archer, I would not be willing to give up the HP for it.
Right. And
yeah, but maybe Eddie, imagine that in combination with Nuden's, bro. Nuden's killing you and you're running towards enemy beacon with additional speed. There is so many factors in this game. It's really hard to say anything about any module or robot.
I do kind of agree with Zox that it might be a little more beneficial in a squad setting, but I also agree with you, Eddie, that, you know, personally, I'm not willing to give up that, you know, 27-28% extra health or damage that I'm getting from that one slot right now. So, you know, kind of a tough call just for speed, when speed is not really going to be a momentum changer in most cases. So
yeah, and if you're playing Beacon Rush, then you can pretty much teleport on a beacon if you already control it. You know, if you have the middle beacon, then you really don't need speed to get there, because you can just kind of plant yourself there. I don't know. At this point in time, you know, and don't get me wrong, I was completely wrong when we were talking about the overdrive module, because I thought it was a piece of, and it turns out to be pretty effective once it hit the live server. So as of right now, it's not a go for me, but things change really, really quick when something hits the live server, and it's not what we expected. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Yep. Now, just real quick, I want to touch on the module that they decided to pull off the test server again, and that is the passive QR module, because if this thing were to come to the live server, I think it would be a pretty easy choice at that point on whether or not you're going to put it.
I'm willing to give up the armor and the armor or the extra damage for that quantum radar. Absolutely, because anybody who's running a Titan knows that an Al June, you know, running glaciers with a death mark could put a serious dent, you know, and really ruin your paint job on your Titan. I mean, he can really create some havoc for you. And if he can do it over and over again, it doesn't take very long for them to chop a Titan down using those death marks. So having the benefit of a quantum radar, yeah, absolutely. You know, I would take it. Do I think the Titans need quantum radar? No, I don't. I really don't. But if they come to the game, yeah, I will definitely be adding that one to my notice.
Right. I don't know. Well, and just to give the viewers a little bit more insight, not this weekend that we're in right now, but last weekend, originally there was a test server scheduled, and they were going to have the passive QR module on the Titans for the last test server. They did make some adjustments to it, but they ended up canceling that test server. But the adjustments that they did make to it is they gave it a range, an active range. So basically, I think it was 300 or 350 meter range is what it had on it. So basically, instead of just having a passive QR where it can always see any robot that's in stealth, it could only see stealth robots that were within that range of it. Though I think 300 or 350 meters is still ridiculously far for a passive QR module. It doesn't really, it wouldn't allow for, you know, a stealth robot to even, you know, get within range of half of the weapons that we're using right now that are 300 meters, you know, without it being taken out by the Titan. So I don't know. I'm not happy. Yeah, I'm not happy if they bring that out, to be perfectly honest. I don't see a need for it, because right now that's the only counter we have to Titans. That's the only counter we have. So they need to not kind of take that away, especially since, you know, they did decide to give Titans that 27-28% per module slot boost. So they're a little bit OP right now. So we need something to take him out that isn't a Titan, because we play War Robots, not War Titans. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm glad that it's not on the test server, but as with anything like this, I'm pretty sure Pixonic has already made up their mind, and we are going to get it in some way on the live server eventually. It's just a matter of, how many times do they have to add it to the test server before they finally decide to put it to the live server. But I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, but these modules are going to come. We know that. Any module that we have right now in the game has the potential to get placed onto a Titan. So we can expect it. Zox, what's your input on the quantum radar for the Titan?
Bro, first of all, I hope that they will never introduce. I'm running, to be honest, I'm always saying honestly, I'm running Ming Dragoons. I'm running it because I need to chief. Because in squad battles, bro, you need to have it. You totally need to have it. Because if you don't have it, you are smoked. You are totally smoked by the other team. So I did it because of my clan mates, because of my squad mates. But if they introduce this quantum radar, it will be ridiculous, because with this quantum radar for Titans, everything regarding the Titans is already overpowered, ridiculously overpowered, let's be honest. And if they introduce this module, it will make a huge gap between regular robots and between Titans. So it will be the death of Aojun, of Loki, of all the good counters to the Titans. And it will be a huge blow, not that much for players who invest into their hangars, but it will be a huge blow, a huge slap to free-to-play players, because they use Loki's, Aojun's, the robots which are available in the workshop. They use it to counter Titans, and they will totally lose that ability to counter Titans. It will be ridiculous, at least for me. I don't know. It's my opinion.
Oh, I agree 100%. And I don't disagree with you running an Ao Ming. I know if you squat a lot, that's a good place for it, and I know you're forced to follow the meta in order to stay competitive. I'm not a fan of people that use their maxed out Ao Mings with energy weapons to just slaughter a whole bunch of randoms, but to each their own.
To be honest, I very rarely play solo. I play mostly the squads.
I was running with the boys from Gods the other night. I went over there just to hang out with them for a little while and squat up with them a little bit, and we ended up dropping into a match, and we were trying to time drop certain other bigger name clans. We were trying to time drop CDX and Noobs, and trying to get some of these stronger iOS clans, and we ended up dropping into one with I guess a group of randoms, and one of the guys from Gods decided to drop his maxed out Ao Ming. And you should have just heard everybody on that Discord just start ripping them and yelling at them. And, you need to dump that bot right now. We're playing against, randoms. You're not going to bring that max that on me. And just, we can find it out with the regular bot. They can drop their times, but we're not going to drop ours. So it was kind of refreshing to see a group of guys get after one guy who decided to drop it. Oh, you're not going to use it. I know you probably paid $1,500. You're not going to use it here in this particular setting. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's good to hear that some folks are trying to keep that in check. I wish everybody would, or really more so, I wish Pixonic would just not allow you to drop it as your second robot at the 7-minute mark of a match. But that's a whole nother topic we've already talked about.
Yeah.
I did want to kind of go over some of the comments that folks had here, going back a little bit to the Scorpion robot. I think Duran was saying put a red exclamation mark over the head if a Scorpion targets you. I guess that's one idea, as long as you're paying attention and looking over your head. And there was one comment that I thought was great. Oh, Joseph Cook said, should the bot be forced to teleport back at the end of its ability? Now that's an interesting concept, and I like it.
Yes, it should. I love it. I love that idea. You should not be able to stay there. It should ask that question.
I think having the ability to press, or having the ability, or I guess the ability to press your ability a second time in order to teleport back sooner is fine. But I think once it expires, I mean, teleport back. I think that's a great idea. I think that would help to really keep it in check, to be honest.
Yeah,
interesting.
You know what, Chief? You know what could be, for example, the way that you know that he teleported behind you? For example, for your screen to blink once or twice, something like that.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, to be notified, I think of something that big, I think it needs to be a big in your face, you cannot miss this notification type of thing. So your whole screen has to be affected in some way.
Yeah. Precisely. Because otherwise it will be the battlefield will be filled of paranoid people. Turning around to see is there anybody behind you.
I can tell you right now, I'll be paranoid if I'm on home beacon playing goalie. Sheesh.
Me too, bro.
Let's see, Mixfant was saying also that the Scorpion doesn't actually teleport behind the robot, it teleports to the enemy side of the robot. So whatever spawn side you're on, it'll put it that way. So
in front of you.
Yeah. I don't know if it's supposed to be doing that, because that's not how it's in the description. So that could just be a bug, a test server bug. Be honest.
The interesting one I saw was where he teleported to the Ming, and the Ming was in the air, and
he had to fall.
Was actually up in the air.
I saw that glitch. It's really funny.
Yeah, you could. I don't know. You could probably do some pretty weird hacks using that if they don't fix that before it goes to the live server. You shouldn't be teleporting to somebody that's up in the air. At least not teleporting up in the air. You'll be able to get into some pretty strange positions.
Yeah.
But no, I think it should actually teleport behind the robot. No matter what direction the robot's facing, it should always go behind them. That might actually lead to some additional counters to it. I know I was watching Adrian's video, and he was in his Arthur, and he was on the bridge on Castle Map, and he was trying to get one of them to teleport to him, so he was kind of backing his Titan's ass up to the edge of the bridge to see what would happen. Nobody teleported to him, but it'd be kind of interesting, because then you could it
would teleport right into the water.
Yep. I don't know.
That would be fun.
And Lee Fighter was saying the Scorpion is too much.
Real quick to go back.
Lee was saying that the Scorpion is too much. It's going to confuse a lot of players. And I can agree. Based on the gameplay I was seeing on the test server, with obviously being the test server, it's a new robot. They want a lot of people to run it on the test server, but when there's multiples of that on the field at the same time, it was very confusing on some of those matches, just to kind of understand what was going on.
Yeah, your situational awareness is going to become very keen. You're going to have to really be aware of your surroundings with this particular bot. The threat is not necessarily going to come from a flank or in front of you. It can come from any angle now.
Sorry, just trying to go through the chat here. I don't want to skip over too many folks. I know I see a lot of you guys talking in the chat. I'm not trying to ignore y'all, but I do want to try and keep us on topic. And speaking of topics, while we're kind of in the role of topics, another topic that we're going to be discussing is the War Robots Remastered. You guys had a, well, I know Eddie's been on there. Have you had a chance to log into one of those test servers, Zox?
Which one, bro? Sorry.
The remastered.
Oh, yeah, I have. It looks amazing, really. Graphics is amazing for me. And this is the first phase, as I understand, with HD graphics. With ultra graphics, it will be amazing. I just hope that we will not lose a lot of players due to their outdated devices when that happens. That's my only concern.
Well, based on what they were saying, they were actually expecting this new graphics engine to be easier on most devices rather than harder. And they said that the only devices they're looking at not supporting any longer are, you know, really old devices that, to be honest with you, most people probably aren't using. I know for the iOS side, they were talking about like iPhone 4, which is
iPhone
like,
5, I think.
or iPhone 5 even. That's still what, almost a 10-year-old phone? I
Yeah,
mean,
of course. Yeah.
It's pretty...
And the Galaxy, I believe, was a Galaxy 3, which is, I don't know anybody who's still using the Galaxy 3.
Yeah, it is. But I hope that those info will be in fact on the live server correct.
Right. And I mean,
concern.
that's
amazing. It's amazing.
That's the main reason they're trying to get folks to get on there and actually you know, play on there, even though there's not a whole big selection of robots that are ready or maps that are ready for testing, but mainly for them to kind of get an idea of, you know, what devices are you running and are you able to run the game? Is it killing your battery? Because they're also expecting this to take less battery draw, which I think is a win-win for anybody, you know, if you're playing on either a tablet or a phone.
Yeah, less battery draw and phones or devices no longer heating up. I think that's a big plus.
Right. But they do need the testing, so especially if you are running one of those kind of borderline devices where you're not sure if you're going to be able to handle it, get on there. They are running the test server during the week and not on the weekends, so it is different than the weekend test server. The weekend test server is still just for new content for us, totally independent of the War Robots Remastered testing. But I don't know. I agree with you though, Zox. It was I mean, the graphics looked really good, and this is the low end version of the graphics. So I'm kind of excited.
Get better.
I mean, as somebody that streams the game, I mean, man, it's going to be a lot better to be able to stream a high quality image than, you know, than what we have right now.
I tested that on Galaxy S20 Ultra on 120 hertz refresh rate. It looked amazing. It really looked amazing.
And they did say that when they do have the higher version of the graphics, they are wanting to support higher refresh. So I think that will definitely be good. I play on an iPad Pro, and you know, hopefully it comes with HDR graphics, you know, to really make it look good. I'm excited for it overall, and it's, I think it's gonna breathe a little bit of life back into the game, because the game does look a little dated, but I mean, it's still pretty good. I mean, if you look at the graphics we have now compared to, you know, the original videos that they were putting out from War Robots from like 5-6 years ago, it's already a big boost in graphics for what we have, but nothing in comparison to the remastered graphics.
Real quick, Zox with the 5 bones. Good job, Zox. Thank you for that donation there, Zox.
One sticker.
Yeah, just real quick, DFE was asking, and this is not a question that I'm going to answer for you, but I'm going to send you somewhere to get that answer, okay? DFE is asking, he says it's a bit off topic, but what are your thoughts on the best weapon for a T-Falcon? And instead of me answering that, I'm going to tell you to click on Duran True King's tag and go to his channel and watch his videos. He runs 5 T-Falcons. He never stops talking about them. It'll be a perfect fit for you. Click on his channel and go watch.
Yeah, I believe Michael, what's his name? Michael Michael.
Right.
He's always here. I can't remember his last name.
That's his new name on YouTube is Duran True King.
Oh, okay, got you. All right, then yes, he's a hardcore T-Falcon fan. He runs all 5, like you said, 5 T-Falcons, so you can pretty much watch his gameplay and then select your style for that. If I was to take a wild guess, and I don't run the T-Falcon, but if I was to take a wild guess as to what I've been up against, the Glaciers are pretty effective. I mean, they got me running in the opposite direction.
Not for sustained fire, though. Glaciers, man, I don't know. We need some new weapons in War Robots that are not necessarily OP, but something new with some kind of sustained firepower that isn't just an energy machine gun. I don't know.
Oh, believe me, Chief, just wait for 1 month to see when they buff these new weapons that we just got.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because I mean, I tested out the Nucleons, and you know, was not really impressed. But I went ahead. What I was more interested on was the comment section. All right, and I went through all of my comments and I read everybody's thing, and sure enough, I mean, people were saying, no, you know, they're okay, but it's not something I'm going to be upgrading. Yeah, they're competitive, but you know, it's not something that I'm going to target. I mean, so we talk about things being overpowered in the game. But if they're not overpowered, nobody wants them. If they're just competitive, you know, nobody wants them. Everybody wants something that's OP. But at the same time, we're complaining about OP. So
well, I think it's a cycle that Pixonic has kind of forced on us, because for the longest time, everything new coming out was OP, and that was the expectation. And then in order to survive, you yourself had to have something OP. So now when we get something that is just competitive and not necessarily OP, kind of like the Atomizer. The Atomizer is probably the strongest of the new weapons, but it's not really OP. Even maxed out, it's not really OP. But folks are just so used to having OP stuff, or the existing stuff in the game that is OP, like the Titans, your Atomizers ain't gonna do crap against them. So yeah, I mean, it's a self-perpetuating issue that Pixonic, I think, at the development level needs to address. I think everybody's just gonna keep expecting them to buff stuff up until they are OP, just to counter the stuff that's already OP. I don't know.
before they nerf currently OP stuff.
Buff this, nerf that, yeah. You know,
unfortunately, the nerf bat is always 6 months behind the buff bat, so you know, you've got a little bit of time still before you have to worry about a nerf on anything. And actually,
the Al Junes did make a very good run, as well as the Avengers. I mean, those weapons and that bot had been around for over a year before it took any kind of hit. So, and even with the hit it took, still a very competitive bot. You know, but everybody's still using it. So
yeah, they're still good, and I mean, cost to performance wise, you still won't find a better heavy weapon, you know, than an Avenger, because they're so cheap. So, but you know, one thing that's interesting, and I was talking to somebody the other night about this, is I might have actually been on my stream when I was talking about this. Pixonic found a way to nerf the most OP robot in the game right now, which was the Leech, right? They found a way to nerf it without ever actually nerfing it. Because for a while, everybody was saying, oh, Leech is too strong. It needs nerfed. It needs nerfed. It needs nerfed. And what did they do? They changed a bunch of other stuff, never touched the Leech. And now, when I see a leech drop in against me, I laugh. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to die, buddy. I mean, it doesn't matter what he's using. He's going to die. So, I mean, it's I don't know. Maybe this is a new trend with them. Instead of, taking the flack for actually nerfing something that's too strong, they're just going to buff and nerf other stuff around it until it's kind of not good anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, in fact, Chief now in squad plays, in squad versus squad, top squad versus top squad, you will not see any leech. Maybe 1 or 2 leeches at the beginning, or maybe 3, but after that, second, third, fourth, fifth bot, no leech, bro. Right. All Ravana, Gale, June. I really like that Aujun. I still like that Aujun, and Aujun is the bot which has a counter, quantum radar, and it's cheaper to activate that module. It's 20 power cells comparing to 40 power cells on phase shift. So I don't know. For me, it's okay, but Aujun.
Yeah, I really, I personally, I don't even run phase shift on any of my robots right now. Well, actually, I might on my my Blitz, but that's just because I don't have the new Blitz pilot yet. But as soon as I get the new Blitz pilot in there, I'm just going to use super heals. But yeah, I think the most surprising trend from top gameplay has been the Nightingale and how prevalent it is in even top squads. I mean, almost all of them have at least a Nightingale in their lineup, which is pretty surprising.
Oh, it's crazy, bro.
That's a lot more than one in their lineup there, Chief.
well, I'm just saying, at least one. I think the most recent, trend I've been seeing is you've got 1 Nightingale.
1 per hanger.
Yeah, 1 per hanger, 2 Aujuns, and 2 Ravanas. That seems to be like the happy
something
mix
like that
in there.
But more 3 Ravanas, 1 Nightingale, 1 Aujun, or maybe 2 Ravanas, 1 Loki, 1 June, and 1 Nightingale.
Right. But, I guess on the bright side, you don't have people running 5 of the same robot anymore.
No, that's kind of disappeared, hasn't it? Yeah.
Which is really good. It's always good to have a little bit more variety. Yeah, Nightingale is pretty OP. If it's played right, it is definitely even in free for all. I've faced some pilots in free for all running a Nightingale that were just difficult to deal with. Very difficult. I mean, they're not getting a ton of kills themselves, but man, they can really cause some problems in that game mode.
Yeah, if you piss off a Nightingale user, he can just make your life miserable by constantly suppressing you while everybody else is your cake, boy. I mean, they down the hell out of you, and you're constantly suppressed. There's not very much you can do, and anti-control might work the first time, but it ain't gonna work the second and third time. So, you gotta really, be careful. You don't piss off a Nightingale user.
Yeah, especially in a game mode like free for all or even TDM, when you're trying to get that kill and you get suppressed at the last minute, and then that dude gets both of the kills. Yeah,
it's crazy. It's I constantly got an eye out for them. I'm constantly targeting them. It's just they're really an issue for me as far as when I get into free for all.
AD says Nightingale's healing rate is too much. No.
Guys, what do you think about that new Blitz pilot on Blitz? That's really interesting idea.
Yeah, I love it.
I am running one at level. I was running him at level 3. I think right now he's like a level 7 or 8, and I'm running him in my free for all hanger, and it's been very effective, even at that low of a level.
It's
crazy. Yeah, I mean, if I get hit, I'm gonna feel it. But even at such a low level, it's competitive in Champion League. And I'm not talking about going up against low level Titans. I mean, low level hangers. I'm talking about going up against maxed out, leeches, maxed out Ravanas. The speed is there, the suppression is there. It's gonna force people to use anti-control again. It's just crazy. I'm liking it, and I will probably be using that in team play. If I'm going to be put on beacon guard, that's going to be the bot that I'm going to be guarding the beacon with, because it's at the same level as a Loki. So even though I can't target him, or I don't have quantum radar on that particular bot, I'll still be able to fire and hit him with direct line of sight. I do like it.
I'm a huge Blitz fan. I only took my Blitz out of my lineup after the nerf to shotguns hit, because I didn't have another solid option with 4 light weapons to put on it. But I've been, before the pilot came to the live server, I started running my Blitz again using 2 Rhymes and 2 Maxed Gust. And I'm telling you, that thing does some nasty work, even without the new pilot. So I'm pretty damn excited to put the new pilot in there. And I'm really excited to see that Big Sonic is actually giving some love to an older robot to help it spend some time in the meta. I think that robot can definitely find its way into the meta. It might be in a more unique situation, like Eddie was talking about, maybe as, his beacon defender, because I'm telling you, a well-played Blitz, especially with that pilot, can 1v1 take out any robot in the game.
Yeah, it's a power bot. I think they need to give a little bit of love to the Pursuer next, and come up with an Islander pilot for it, which is going to have a quantum radar jammer. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. A quantum radar jammer for the pilot skill, unique to that bot. And oh, daddy, I'm going to have a blast.
Yeah, bro, you are legendary Pursuer pilot for real. They need to name it after you. Really.
Oh my
AD
god.
Gaming is mentioning the Cerberus, saying it's not even in the workshop yet, and he is still so weak. I want us to talk about that. It's
Okay.
true. Cerberus he's not a very strong bot, but the key here is, 1, he was free to everybody. 2, it's a community-based robot. If you look at the first community robot, the what was it called? The Bolt was completely worthless. At least the Cerberus can be played. And 3, the Cerberus is hella fun. If you're playing this game to have fun and not necessarily be competitive, play the damn Cerberus. It's a lot of fun, and it's pretty damn strong when you do max it out. Unfortunately, it's one of those robots that has to kind of be maxed out in order to survive, but I don't think they're going to do anything with it.
A few of the Cerberuses, and they were maxed out. And the guys that were used, I mean, they're learning how to use that particular bot. I'm not sure what pilot skills they were running out, but they were being pretty effective with the Cerberus. Now, in team play, it would be worthless. But if you want to go out there and run some solo play, I think it would be a fun bot to use. And judging by the way the guys that were using it in free for all, I mean, they were very effective with it. So. I don't know. I mean, it's just a bot that you would have to go out there and learn how to work it. What are its do's? What are its don'ts? If you put enough time into any bot, you can make it work for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the Blitz. I mean, when the Blitz first came out, everybody was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm going to get a Blitz. It's going to be so strong. And then they started playing it and they're like, oh, it's not so strong. And I'm like, oh, hey, it's hella fun. And if you play it well, it's super strong. But nobody ever took it serious and nobody ever kept it in their lineup. But now we're going to see a whole lot of people playing this new Blitz because the new Blitz pilot, and it's, a whole lot easier for them to play and be effective with. But, yeah, I mean, you can definitely be effective with the Cerberus. It's just, it takes some work.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm running the Blitz in my free-for-all hanger is because I want to level up the pilot, and I want to level up the robot, slow as I go. I'm not in any kind of rush to max it out right away. It's not worth the gold, in my opinion, to rush it, but it's worth the gold if you level it up by itself.
I sold my Blitz at MK212.
Yeah, it is pretty much going to be a more of a bot for solo play or maybe free for all. But I don't think Pixonic is going to ever really revisit any of the community robots. I think they kind of see it as kind of a, we're doing this for the community's input, and this is what you get. I don't see them trying to make it competitive. Oh, but talking about the Blitz and the Blitz pilot, those were the two main prizes with the current operation, and I did want to talk about that because it is a new operation, and things are a little different with this operation compared to previous operations. I'm surprised. I did make a video actually showcasing the Blitz and the new pilot. I think it was last week, and was asking folks their opinion on this format for operations, because I do believe that Pixonic is kind of testing the waters to see about possibly switching to this kind of a format where it's a shorter operation, but they give you a lot more resources in the shorter period of time, make it nice and fat and juicy, but it's a whole lot easier to obtain the main prizes, which, like this one, you get the pilot at like 19 and the new Blitz at level 29 or something, so you don't even have to finish the whole operation to get the main prizes. And I was surprised that nearly everybody that responded on that video said they preferred this new method. So
I am a huge fan of what they're doing right now, just solely on the platinum.
Yeah, me too.
Platinum is not an easy resource to come by in this game. We only got it in the daily task, and that was it. So the fact that we can pick up approximately 1,400 for I guess 30 bones versus 1,400 for 100 bones if you get it for 50% off is a huge plus.
Right.
So.
Well, and I did get some folks that gave some pretty good ideas. My only concern with this new format, I do like the format personally. I do like the addition of platinum. I think that's great. I'd like to see that continue. I do like the fact that it's easier to finish. I mean, I think even a casual player can get close to, if not finish, the operation each month. The only concern I had was that extra $15 that it's going to cost for the operation, because we've been getting a 2-month-long operation for $15, and now we're kind of going to have to pay that $15 each month. And then you add that on to the $15 a lot of people are already paying for VIP. That's, you're looking at $30 minimum just for those two things each month, if you're not buying anything else, which some people can't afford that. And I totally understand that. Do I think it's still a great deal? Hell yeah, it is a great deal, especially with all that platinum and the fact that it's easier to finish.
That's the biggest value for the money in this game. I don't say it's the perfect, but it's the best value of your money.
Right, and these operations have been the absolute best bang for the buck since they came out.
Yeah.
But
the original Gathering Storm was definitely the top operation when it came out. If they stay with its current trend, it's worth it. If they start decreasing the amount of resources you get in it, then that's where it will become an issue. But if they stay on track where they are right now, it's all go.
Yeah.
Well, I had some folks.
When you say about.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. When you say about cost, it's all circumstantial, bro. It all depends where you live. For example, in USA, $10 it's one hamburger. Am I right? Something like that. So
yeah,
basically you are getting for one burger and one Coke, you are getting something what lasts month. It's not that bad value for the money, to be honest.
No,
yeah, I mean, if you go to what is it, Golden Corral, it's going to cost you $30 for 2 people.
I do agree. The cost isn't huge, but what they're essentially doing is doubling the cost of what we're used to paying for an operation.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the concern. So and you have to remember too, a lot of people that play this game are kids. Kids don't have bank
Yeah.
accounts, so it might be a little bit tougher in that route. Now, I did have quite or a few of them make the same recommendation, and that was to just add VIP onto the gold line, or basically combine VIP and the gold pass. So
Yeah, they need
that
to-
would be really good.
So
That
basically,
would be really
for
good.
for $15 a month, you can unlock the gold pass, and you maintain that VIP. And personally, I think that's an outstanding idea for those that are pocket change players that do just pay for the VIP and maybe the gold pass. I think that would be a great deal, and I think they would probably actually see higher sales if they did that.
Yeah, I agree.
That's an amazing idea.
Yeah.
The only concern would be if there was ever a gap in operations, but they're the developers. They can just make sure that they always have the next operation ready to go, so there's not a big gap
Right.
in time.
That's on them.
Chief, even they could offer you every month, for example, you're paying $15 for premium every month, and you are paying $15 for these operations. They should at least offer a deal every month or every second day. They should offer a deal where if you buy together operations and premium, you get it, for example, for $20. And they would sell a lot more of these, and everybody would be happy.
I agree with that. I agree. I think that's a great solution. Even if they raised it to just $20 a month, that's still a $10 savings over having to pay 15
Yeah.
each.
Yes.
And I think a lot more people are more comfortable spending, $15, $20 a month on a mobile game. I mean, there's always going to be the high spenders, and that's fine. But the vast majority of people that play this game, and really the ones that are keeping the lights on, are the pocket change players, because there's a lot more people that spend $2 here, $5 there, and that adds up way more than those folks that are dropping $1,500, $2,000 just to upgrade one Titan.
Chief, in many games you have, for example, subscription.
Right.
Why don't they introduce something like that in here? Okay, they said that every bot after 1 month will be introduced into workshop, and they are not doing that. But okay, let's do it like this. Combine everything into one subscription, operation pass, premium, and that bot release. So when you pay, for example, $20 per month in this game, you will get unlocked operations, you will get premium, and after 1 month, every bot will be available for you in the workshop.
That's not a bad idea. I don't know what the legal, requirements would be for them.
They would attract so many people to buy it.
Well, the main reason why people download this game to start with is because it is a free game. Now, when you start talking about a monthly subscription fee, is it still technically a free game?
No, not for everybody. If you don't want, you can leave. You can play like it is now. But to give you that option, to get all those resources, all those things, a lot cheaper and a lot easier, they would gain so many subscribers. So many free-to-play players who would switch to subscription.
I agree with you that they would. I just don't know what the legal requirements would be at that point, if they would still be able to call themselves a free-to-play game. But I guess that's for them to figure out on their end.
Like a premium, not real subscription, but I mean like a premium.
So basically what they're doing now, I mean, because right now they have VIP, just roll everything into the actual VIP and give you the unlocked battle pass, give you everything.
Right. I
So
think that's exactly what you're referring to. And would it be value for the dollar? Yeah, it would. Would they pick up new spenders? Absolutely. You know, uh, I like it. I do like it, but I mean, there's a lot of free to play players that that would not be a fan of it. I can tell you that right off the bat. The free to play player market would probably blow up in an uproar. And like you said, Chief, I'm not sure what the legality of it as far as Google and Apple and how all that with free to play games, with the options to buy. Now this would be an option, so I'm just not sure how all that would work out. But I like it. I love the idea.
well, I did have some. I think you're always going to have some free to play players always complain anytime something is for sale. It's just a fact of life, and unfortunately, it's just how it is. I do personally try to look out for the free to play players and the grinders because I understand that it's sometimes beyond their control whether or not they can spend, and I get that, and I want them to enjoy the game too. So I try to keep an eye out for them, and I've seen a lot of comments complaining about, oh well, like the new battle pass, it's shorter but they're taking away all the stuff from the free line. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, that doesn't even make sense, because you said they're taking it away from the free line. Free. That means anything you are getting for free. You don't have to pay. So if they're giving you that platinum, they're giving you the silver, they're giving you the gold, the tokens, whatever it is that they're giving in the free line, it's free. It's 100% better than nothing. So I don't know if I agree with that standpoint as far as them complaining about what is coming for free, as long as they are getting something. I don't.
In the free line, you would get in this operations, I think you get like 100 platinum, which is still free. It doesn't cost you anything. All you got to do is just play the game.
Yeah, you just keep playing like you normally would play, and you get it for free. I think that was something that we kind of initially dealt with when operations first came into the game.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, the free line isn't getting anything. And I'm like, well, hold on a second. The free line is getting everything that's in there for free. It's 100% more than you were getting. So I don't know. But I don't know. I don't want to get into a big debate, with as far as, free to play versus the payers. Somebody's got to pay for the game's development. It's been going for 6 years. And if we want it to keep going, somebody's got to pay something, because they don't do this work for free. So
yeah, the only thing that also is really what I was thinking about that could be really interesting. In many other games, you have something like if you are playing a lot and you are achieving a lot within that month, you get some additional bonuses. And in here, I don't see them that much, to be honest. So maybe they could introduce something like that. It could be interesting for players who have a lot of cups to get some sort of a prize, at least something at the end of the month. It could be. It doesn't mean anything for them because they give something what is virtual to players, and they should. It could be a sort of reward for guys who play a lot and who make a lot of cups.
that's an interesting idea. I think in some levels they do that. You've got your daily tasks that you completed daily, and you get a little bit of gold or a little bit of platinum. Each month, depending on how much you played and how high you made it in the season, in your clan, you get that clan bonus and the season bonus, depending on how many cups you had at the end. Of course, it's not really scaled, so if you're in Champion League, if you had 5,001 cups, you still get the same 350 gold as somebody that's got 18,000 cups.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a cool idea. I don't know if the people watching here would be interested in maybe seeing some kind of like a scaled, like a prize, ranking prize or some kind of thing. The more you play, the more you can kind of unlock for some kind of a monthly bonus or something. I'd be down to see what
something like
folks
that.
could come
Something
up
like,
with.
for example, you at the beginning of the month you see some progression bar, and if you feel it, you get some prize, additional prize from after at the end of the month. That could be really nice towards their community and their players.
Interesting.
The only thing in this particular update that I do not like as of right now are the special deliveries. I don't know, we want to touch up on that a little bit, Chief. We haven't really discussed the crates.
From the new event?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, yes, I won a Nodens, and that was a big plus. But other than the Nodens, I won, in the regular crate, I won 1 Nucleon and 2 paint jobs. That's it. I have not gotten anything other than components, gold, and thank you for the freaking power cells, Sonic. I'm just having the worst luck. I can't get a pilot to save my life. Oh, I scratched that. I did win my 14th Nightingale pilot, which I've sold. But it's been pretty bad. I can't win anything. How have you done, Chief, on your operations?
Well, you're complaining about the power cells, and me personally, I roll it just to get power cells. So, I mean, I had to spend gold on power cells the other night for my stream, so I don't have like 200,000 saved up. But no, I mean, I haven't really, I haven't bought any of the packs, so I mean, just based on my free rolls that I've had, I did get lucky and I scored a Ravana, an Ivory Ravana. But aside from that, I haven't even really gotten components. All I've seen is power cells.
Yeah, I did win an Ivory Ravana. I can't complain about that one. That one was good. But other than that, I'm trying for the Ravana pilot, and that's pretty much my main goal right now is to get that pilot. It just keeps eluding me. To the fact that I'm thinking about just opening the Titan chest from now on. I'm not getting the pilot anymore. I mean, horrible.
It does seem that folks are getting pretty good luck with the Titan chest, getting whatever full Titan they're going after. I'm sure there's somebody somewhere that dropped a couple $100 and didn't get the Nodens or whatever they were looking for, but I think most of them are getting it, but I think it's because the prize pool is so much smaller. I think for the regular chest, they need to get rid of the components because there's just too many possible prizes that it can land on, and majority of the time it's going to be components or power cells. It's just, I don't know.
Chief, believe me, the prices are terrible. Islander knows I made so many videos about this opening and I splashed so much cash on this opening that it's ridiculous. I didn't get Nodens. The first thing, and for $550 that I gave first time, I got only 1 Ravana pilot. So regarding the prizes, for me they were awful. And then afterwards I opened 100 more, and I got 2 pilots and Ivory Ravana. So it's really ridiculous. It all depends. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at this rate, I think it's just better to wait till he comes to the pilot store so we can get him just for 2,500 gold.
Yeah,
man.
The pilot is the main thing that I want out of this event, and that's why I haven't dropped any cash on it, because I mean, I don't want to I mean, because it's hit or miss. I mean, you know, you do have some like I've had some events where I drop $100 and I get everything I wanted and then some. And then I've had other ones where I drop $200 and I don't get anything. It's so random.
That's ridiculous.
And it's just made worse with all of the damn components. Get rid of the components. Nobody wants them.
And then I mean I've had subscribers message me saying, "Hey, I want to Ravana pilot with my free spin." It's like, I hate you, man. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you, man. You know, God, I am so green with it. It's not even funny how green I am right now. I am Kermit the Frog green. I'm so green right now. Oh God Almighty! But you know, congrats to him. Good. I mean, I'm happy for him somewhat. I just can't seem to find it.
Yeah,
one of your viewers is saying that she got Kiara. She said that she got Ravana pilot after 20 rolls.
Nice, congratulations.
Yeah.
But you know,
Really
you're
nice.
right, Eddie. At the end of the day, I mean, it's going to end up in the price or in the pilot pool after the event anyway. So just wait till it shows up there, and you can, you know, use your free daily reset until he shows up for 2,500 gold.
Yeah.
So that's why personally I'm just not in a huge rush to get it. I can wait if I have to. I'd like to get it for free, but you know, it may not be possible. But
the debate continues.
I do think we have pretty much hit all of the topics we were going to discuss. Real quick, though, before I open it up for any last-minute questions or comments from the viewers, quick reminder to drop by both Eddie and Zox's YouTube channel. Link is in the video description here on the podcast and in the first pinned comment. Make sure you stop by and show some love over there if you aren't subscribers yet. Good stuff. I think go ahead and open it up if any viewers have any last minute questions or comments that they want to go over. Let us know.
Any questions y'all have right now, guys? This is the time to put them in the comment section. We're monitoring the comment section really a little bit closer now. So hit us up if you have anything you want to discuss. And I'm going to go ahead and back read a little bit. Oh, James Cook made a comment earlier regarding the overdrive module. Okay, and when we tested it, you know, it kind of activated pretty much at the same time as the Last Stand did. So it was kind of low down on the when it would generate or when it would activate. But when it came out to the live server, I believe it was almost at 50%, and now they stack, which made the huge difference in the overdrive module. Have y'all tried it?
Yeah, it's a lot higher up on the health pool now compared to what it was like on test server. So I think maxed out with two of them, you're looking at about 60% health when it activates.
Wow, awesome. You just check that out. Yeah. And that would be another target item for this event would be to get that particular module.
Which that module should end up for sale for 5,000 gold soon anyway, right? Yeah, pretty much. Zarathustra said he got 4 Ravana pilots, but he has no Ivory Ravana.
And that's probably why he got the pilots. You know, I keep getting Nightingale pilot over and over again. My Nightingale's at level 1, you know, but I have 2 maxed out Ravanas, and I can't get a pilot to save my life. Although, you know, you would think it would be the other way around. They would want you to get the pilot because you have, you know, a reason to upgrade it. I've gotten the Nightingale pilot over and over again, and all I've been doing is selling them.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I heard that some guys, when they opened the chests, removed their Ravanas from their first hangars and put some other bots and stuff, and they got pilots for it. It's
Interesting.
ridiculous, but really.
You know what?
something
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna put 5 Corsairs in my hangar and see if I can get a Robana pilot. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, really interesting.
You know, but I mean, you would figure, okay, if they see 2 Ravanas or 3 Ravanas in a hangar, it'd be like, okay, if this guy gets the pilots, he's gonna spend a whole lot of gold to upgrade them. I don't know.
Yeah, but if
I don't think
if
they're
he
smart.
does get it,
I don't think their smart loot system
he
is
will
quite
splash
that
more cash
smart.
to get it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to test that theory. And
Funny.
right now, at this point of the game, anything's worth a shot.
See, Funny Fenrir is saying that the lock-on system is broken and very annoying. Yes, it is. That's that would have been a great topic about 4 years ago. It's unfortunately never been fixed or addressed. I think the fix for the lock-on and targeting system is somewhere in development with the reload button. But yeah, I think that is probably going to look to wrap it up.
Yeah,
Pretty good
not
talk.
seen any new questions come in.
Yeah, I self-promotion alert. Yeah, AD Gaming has videos on his channel about the module. You can check out that module on AD's YouTube channel. But as a reminder,
I
don't
need
forget
to
to stop by and check out Zox's channel as well. And once again, once he reaches 5,000 subscribers, he's gonna have some kind of a giveaway. So stop by his channel and check that out.
Yeah, $50 Google Play giveaway, Google Play cards.
What about if it's an iOS player, man?
Hey, it doesn't matter. I will send to guys who are from iOS. I will send iTunes cards.
No. It's only for Android. You gotta do a separate giveaway for them later on. No, I'm joking, guys. Chief,
Let's see, Kiara
is
had a
on point tonight.
question about asking if we could do a video, either Islander or myself, with a RPR account testing out the Hades with the Shredder and Nucleon. Wants to know if it is worth leveling up the Nucleon to replace the Avenger. Maybe. I mean, I don't know if I would make a video for it, but I can tell you my personal experience of using the weapons. It's decent. It's not super strong. If you don't need to level it up, you don't. I mean, if you've run an Avenger is still okay. It's not a trash weapon by any means. But if you have the silver resources, and trust me, you're going to need a lot of silver resources because all new weapons cost the same amount, which is a ton, to level up, then go for it, level it up. If you want to stay on the cheap, an Avenger would probably be just as effective.
I would say if you're gonna level it up at the current state of the Nucleon right now, I would say level it up to maybe level 9, level 10, and just kind of let it sit there on the shelf and wait for a particular buff that we can only assume is going to come. If not enough people are using them in the game, they will give it a little oomph to spark the community. At that point, you would already be ahead of the game. So if you do have the resources, then yeah, by all means, you can start cheating up a little bit. If you don't have the resources, don't make that a focus. Stick to something else that you could possibly use. As of right now in the game.
Yeah, basically upgrade it only if you have Avengers and you are using it. Basically upgrade it now. Upgrade it for future.
Just keep in mind that Avenger costs about 25% as much to max out. So.
No, I mean, if people have already these
Yeah.
Avengers and they are using them and they have them max
Yeah.
or stuff like that,
Then you don't
then
have to
they
rush
can
it.
slowly, if they got skill, they can slowly upgrade it because probably in future it will get buffed. For sure.
Okay, but I think that is going to do it. Thank you, Zox, for joining us on the show today. And once again, Eddie, as always, it's good to have you on.
My pleasure, Chief. Every time. Love it.
I think that is going to wrap it up here. Hopefully we'll get back to our regular schedule. I do apologize for missing last week. Just wasn't feeling very well. But one more plug for Zox. Stop by, check out his channel. He's got some good stuff going on over there.
Thank you very much, bro, and thank you very much for inviting me tonight. It was really a pleasure, and it was really fun and nice to speak to you. And I think that we spoke about all the topics that you wanted to speak about. It was really fun.
Well, we enjoy doing this, and this podcast is here for the community. So whatever we can do, giving back either to a YouTuber like you that are up and coming and making waves in the YouTube community for War Robots, or the viewers that are just trying to find somewhere to voice their opinions and thoughts. That's what the podcast is here for.
Yep.
So,
Zara,
thank you for that.
Shout out to Zartaros with a $50 donation there. Zartaros. I don't know what adding or cheap better. That's all right, brother. You can flip a coin on that one. But like
I call him Sarah.
We do this, huh?
I call him Sarah.
Sarah. Yeah. All right, guys. But yeah, like Chief was saying, we do this every Sunday. We're here for you guys. It's not about me. It's not about Chief. It's about you guys out there that come by and hang out with us every single Sunday and talk about a game that we all love to play. One more time for Zox. Make sure y'all swing by, all right? He has a really good channel. He's an up-and-coming YouTuber growing really, really fast. Get over there to check out some of the stuff. He does have a giveaway, in case y'all didn't catch that. At 5,000 subscribers, he will give away $150, whether it be Android or iOS gift cards. He's going to take care of you guys on that. So make sure you go out there, hit him up, show him a little bit of love. And we will see you guys next Sunday, guys.
Peace out, guys. Stay safe.